guys, so I have two main points that I need to talk about here, and then I'm going to end it, and I'm just going to say from the get-go that I basically agree with everything that everybody has said, and that's pretty much something that you should just assume from now on, I suppose, and that's usually how it goes around here. I'm sure you've noticed that trend. Yeah. So the first thing I want to talk about is the IRL versus URL sort of thing that we've got going on here. I really like this conversation to begin with, but that's not what I want to talk about, obviously, because that will be boring. What I do want to talk about is how we've sort of discussed that the internet is sort of like a safe haven almost, where you're able to look back on what you've said and edit what you can say and take down videos, and it is very sort of sheltered, safe place for conversations to happen because you're able to fix what you said to mean what you actually mean, or you're able to remove something if you didn't actually mean to say that, or if it came out wrong, or if it just wasn't appealing to you, and it's sort of this great, like, perfect world place where you're able to fix whatever you want. However, we haven't really looked at the other side of that, where a lot of the times people view the internet as this sort of anarchy disaster zone where there's nobody in control, and so everything just goes wild, and you have entire websites and entire forums and entire groups of people that just post mean things to post mean things. I know you know what I'm talking about, and so the internet becomes this sort of very disastrous and not safe place at all, where expressing your opinion gets you mean people targeting you and making fun of you and saying bad things to you. And I think it's sort of YouTube that really we are focusing on here. Our personal section of YouTube doesn't have many mean people on it, which is really, really awesome, and I think we're really, really lucky for that. And that's just how the internet works. It's this very non-summarizable, I just made up a new word, non-summarizable thing, where sometimes it looks like something and sometimes it just looks completely different. The other thing I wanted to talk about was on the reflective thinking train of thought, although not necessarily what has actually been discussed. What I noticed when a lot of you guys were talking about that was that we were sort of painting a really bad picture of teenagers, I'm going to say, but mostly just youth in this generation, where we are incapable of reflecting on things and thinking deeply, and we are lazy, and we expect things to be handed to us on a silver platter, and we want people to do everything for us, and all these really bad negative connotations that you hear all the time. A lot of people do say them and express these things, but I mean, I think that it's kind of ironic that we're the ones talking about this because we're so opposite of that. I mean, we are the one doing reflective thought on how people don't reflectively think anymore, and it is very strange how we are painting this weird picture of how everything is really bad about our generation, and sort of glossing over the fact that we have a lot of upsides as well, I suppose. Spencer brought up in his video yesterday how we use technology in order to store things in memory outside of our own heads. We don't have to remember things like phone numbers or addresses or birthdays if you want to look at Facebook. And of course there are downsides to that, because I can never remember my friends' birthdays anymore, and I don't even know my own sister's phone number sometimes. But I mean, there are also benefits to that as well. I mean, if I'm not thinking about those things all the time, because personally I have a hard time remembering minor details like that, I'm not having to think about what somebody's phone number is or when somebody's birthday is. I know that I can go back to it, then I'm able to think about other things instead. And it's not as much that because this isn't filling up my memory, I have more memory to use. It's more, I don't have to think about it because I know I can just go somewhere and it will tell me, so I can think about something else instead. I can do something more productive with my life and think and analyze and do good things and productive things, as opposed to thinking about my friend's birth date or a phone number or an address or a time that I have to be somewhere. And I can just do more things because I'm able to store the minor details elsewhere, and I think that's really awesome. So that's basically all I have to say. Katie, I will see you tomorrow in your dorm, and bye.